What's going on, Dragon Ballers? Joey here from Crossroads TCG. We are here at Nationals. I didn't do so hot. I didn't do as well as I wanted to do. Went X2 to start, won my next round, and then I went X3, ended up dropping. I feel like I ran into a little bit of bad luck, but I think this deck that I'm going to show you guys that I played is very, very good. I ran across 4 Shenrons in 5 rounds, but I played the yellow Gohan leader from, what is it, set 6. So some of you guys might not know what it does. It says auto when it attacks, does not have to attack a leader. So you burst 2, you pitch a yellow card in your hand, you draw 2. There's a few reasons why I play this leader. It's blue-yellow, so it's very similar to the Broly list, but this leader adds a lot of synergy to the deck, and it's more favored against aggro than Broly is because you have a life total to play with. You know, Broly cuts its own life to gain advantage, so if you play this leader, you have a favoring against aggro, sometimes a little bit tougher against Shenron, which I faced 4 Shenrons out of 5 rounds, so that kind of sucked. But the backside of the leader, Awaken, untap 2. When he attacks, draw 1 if you have Sparking 5. Activate main once per game. You get to pick up a 3-drop or higher yellow sand from your drop area and put it back into your hand. So very relevant for a lot of cards we'll play. I'll show you guys the list now. So we are blue-yellow, so we have the 1 Vegito Secret Rare. It's really funny, and when I started testing this deck a few months ago, this card won me tons and tons of games, and as time progressed towards Nationals, this card won me less and less games, but it's really cool because you can pick it up off the leader skill, because it is a 3-drop or higher yellow sand. So you can mill it early, you can pitch it early, get it back when you need it. So I wouldn't really cut it. It puts the dual color at 9 copies, so I think it's fine. 2 Bojack and 2 of the Goku Vegeta Sand Bond. So originally I put the 2-2 split for testing purposes. I wanted to find out which one was better, and then I would eventually just play 4 of that one. But they both came up a lot in their own respective situations. Like one time, this guy won me a game against Shenron because my opponent Kaioken me. He only had 3 life, so I had 2 negates and 1 of this guy. He ripped the 2 negates, and then this guy just came in, negated the Kaioken, and won me the game. Bojack, really good against aggro. It's almost like a Bardock Monkey where it comes in, rests a guy, and your opponent mills 1. Funnily enough, this won me a game against Shenron as well because he had 1 card left in deck, and I decked him out. That was pretty funny. But yeah, so that's the 5 dual colors. Then we have the 4 Viruses. These are all stamped. Pick them up now. They are only $10 per copy, and this is going to be a staple in blue-yellow as long as it's a thing. So make sure you pick these up as soon as you can. They're very cheap. Use my link to TCG Player as well. Make sure you do that. All right, so we'll go on to the yellow. We've got 3 Time Magic in the main board. So I wanted to play 4. I'm pretty comfortable with 4 negates. I know a lot of people want like 3, but I bumped 1 to the side to make more room for tech options. There are a lot of tech cards in this deck, and some people think it's weird because you're a mill leader, but you can pick up a lot of the 1-drops, 1-ofs from your graveyard, and they just serve really niche purposes, so I think it was really good. Moving on to the rest of the yellow, we've got the main reason that I play this leader, which is Son Goku Saiyan Instinct. So on the front side, he is the main card you want to pitch. So against anything that's really not Shenron, what I'll do is turn 1, charge a blue-yellow, and then if I'm going second or first, whatever, the first time I attack, I'll pitch one of these guys. Turn 2, I'll play him. I'll activate him from the drop area to draw 2. So this deck draws a ton of cards. I think it takes advantage of the blue engine, which is basically button, a little bit better than Broly does. So another reason why I really like the leader. And the heart and soul of the deck, Grade A Bardock Raiders Warcry. So this guy, a yellow sand 3-drop or higher that you can pick up from your leader's activate main, which is so clutch. You know, again, you can pitch him early if you clogs your hand, or if you mill him from the burst 2, you can pick him up later on, which is really, really strong. Again, I think this deck is super defensive in that regard, but the problem was using this guy offensively was a problem. I played this deck 1 tournament too late because when people caught on to like West Kai and Jocko, it really, really destroyed this guy. Like against fair decks, I can do this defensively to play it and kind of play around the Jocko, but against Shenron, you don't really have that option. So that was really destroying me. A lot of people main decked the West Kai and the Jocko, which was absolutely correct because there was tons and tons of Apes, U6, red, yellow, blue, yellow, things like that. So now, we don't take life like Broly, so we need Self-Awakeners. We've got 4 Fearless Assault Krillins. This is what I feel like gives you a little bit of an advantage in the Shenron matchup because no one was playing Crisis Crusher, no one was playing Striving, and I do feel like that was somewhat of a mistake because cards like Sankaba in red decks were destroying Shenron. So I played the next best thing I could. If we had the SS3 Goku from the Vegeta Baby starter deck, this would 100% be that card. 110% for the Shenron matchup, and I'm probably going to keep playing this deck going forward, so at some point in the future I'll probably update it with that card, maybe some other changes, but this card was really good, put in a lot of work, and I play this deck just like my blue-yellow skillless deck, if you guys remember that, where like late game, I'll be at like 4 life, let's say. I'll spam these guys and just like ping for damage, maybe throw a Champa, throw some super combos, get my opponent low. They can't get resources to defend when I crit them. And I'll clean up with, like, you know, the Bardock monkey, things like that. 3 source of power, more self-awaken, a 3-drop you can pick up from the leader, and it's great, it's super great in the Shenron matchup. Unfortunately, my deck couldn't drop this turn 2 like a swap deck could, and that could have been a bigger advantage. But it was really good overall, really good at getting me awakened. 2 Champa the Trickster for the Shenron matchup. I really didn't think this card was that good against anything that wasn't Shenron, but Shenron is super prevalent. I did try and tech out my deck for Shenron. The 1 cooler, Swift Retaliation, the Swift 2-0 cooler, the Marcus Cantarsi special. So this, you know, obviously is Battering Laser. You see this in the right time, you establish a Bardock Warcry on your opponent's turn, you swing with it, you cooler, you get crazy advantage continuing, and then you just go in for game with that type of thing. Then we have 4 super combos, gotta play them. Unfortunately, there's no Saiyan super combo you can pick up from the drop area, but this one is really good because it plays around like the Raditz SCR. You can also put it back into the deck with the Vegeta making an entrance, so it's pretty solid. And then 2 1-ofs in the main deck. We have 1 Dimensional Banisher Fu and 1 Further Instruction Champa. So Champa, there were times I wanted to cut this card, but like with Double Strike Crit, it's really solid against random things like Structure Deck Broly. You get to go in with your leader, so your battle card that's attacking can't get popped. And then the Dimensional Banisher Fu, I really don't like playing decks without removal, so I played the 1 of Overwhelm. And then I would really try to resolve this guy before Awakening, so I can then attack, burst 3, get close back to my Sparking 5, because you need Sparking 5 on this side to draw 1. The Blue Engine, Zeno button, the card is so amazing, and 4 Bean. So I was at 3 Bean for a while with 4 button because I felt like it was so important against aggro decks, but I bumped Bean back to 4 for extension against Shenron. I feel like you just needed to keep going against Shenron. You need to be able to play multiple Krillins in a turn, play multiple aggressive options in a turn. Sensory Beam with Source of Power is absolutely insane, so I really like the 4 of. Then 3 Janemba Infernal Intruder. So the ideal curve I told you about, turn 1 dual color, turn 2 Goku Monkey in the drop area, and turn 3 you want to start off with this. You can then resolve another Goku Monkey in the drop area if you have one, or you can like combo in a Raider's Warcry, or you can leave 2 energy up for defense. This is the ultimate comeback from behind card. If your board gets cleared or if you're kind of falling behind, this card is a huge, huge tempo swing. Very, very strong. Then we have 1 Ultra Instinct Son Goku the Unstoppable. This destroys the Red-Yellow 8 matchup. There's 1 more in the sideboard, or there used to be 1 more in the sideboard, not anymore actually. But this card was super good. It came up in a lot of niche scenarios. Then we have 1 Undying Spirit Son Gohan. This was originally at 2, and then I had 3 Bean, but I cut the second one of this for the 4th Bean because, again, I wanted to improve the Shenron matchup. Ended up obviously not working out too well. But this card's super good against low to the ground aggro decks. Really good against like U6. You just bounce the combo back to their hand. Super solid. And the last one of Ghost, Rampage, Super Saiyan, Gotenks. So you guys might not know what this does. It's a double strike barrier. So double strike helps you clear games. Barrier, really good against red. They can't like after image it to death. They can't is that all you got it. So I like the barrier threat. And then it says auto burst 5. You get to choose up to 100 of your opponent's 20k or less creatures and put them back in their hands. So I had the Dimensional Banisher Fu for the 1 tall removal, and then the 1 Gotenks for the wide removal. Also, probably the best looking SPR in the game, like in my opinion, so really, really liked it. I'll go over the sideboard real quick. 3 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan. This thing is just so good in so many matchups. Like you have a Pan with Familial Bonds and Chain Zeno. You have U6 with like the Sisterly Bonds Kale. Then you have random things like Purunga Veggies, Assemble a Squad strategies. This card is super good for that. Then we have 4 Force Ejection Mass Saiyan. Shout out to my teammate Jack for telling me to side 4. This card was super good. You know, it's really good against Shenron. I had a few opponents where I just played this, hit their 1 open energy and killed them. Unfortunately, again, couldn't take the match. But then I put in the 4th Time Magic against Shenron and other decks where I was going second. And then I also put in the Dark Power Black Mass Saiyans against Shenron as well. So this 8 cards may as well have been in my main deck because I put them in so often. Against Shenron, I cut Zeno button and the Saiyan Instinct Goku from the main deck. Put these in all the time. It was a good side deck. I don't think I could have really put in anything better against Shenron, but it was pretty solid. Then for the Janemba matchup, which is another kind of tough matchup because we are a burst leader, we play Sneak Attack Vegeta. This card is good on its own against Janemba. You just hard cast it, start taking away their advantage. You don't want to out advantage them because you draw too much. So Sneak Attack Vegeta helps you chip at their advantage, and then I fuse into Gogeta Hero Revived with the Source of Power Son Goku in my main deck. So Sneak Attack Vegeta plus Source of Power equals this on turn 5. When I do this, they really can't play anymore. This card was destroying Janemba when Skillos was playing it. And there's actually like there's a math against Janemba with this deck. Against Janemba, I use my leader's auto once on the unawakened side, and I resolve one Kid Goku Monkey. That usually leaves me around 9 cards in hand most of the game, and then I don't have to resolve this anymore. I can awaken as soon as possible, and then I can start drawing 1, so I don't deck out too fast. And finally, 2 Westkai Keeping Watch in the sideboard. 2 is like really the perfect number because like you're already kind of advantaged against aggro, and as long as I see 1 of this, they have to play around it. So 2 was like the perfect number. I probably wouldn't play anymore, but overall, that is pretty much the deck I played this weekend. Again, I think I ran into a little bit of bad luck, but I think the deck is still super, super strong. So this format is pretty much over because there's no events until I think after set 8 is released. So I'm going to keep playing this deck going forward. I'm going to mess with a few other fun things that I'll bring to you guys on the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the video or the deck in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.